Hi everyone, it's Koinzell here. So today we're going to talk about the new weapons that were announced in the 1.4 live stream. So there's 4 different weapons. This is a 5-star. There's 3 other 4-star weapons here. So let's go and read in detail for each of these weapons. The data is from Honey Impact. So you guys can check that out, and I'll put the link to Honey Impact in the description below as well. Okay, so first off, this nice looking bow here that looks like a hub as well is actually Elegy For The End, or Elegy For The End, I'm not sure how to pronounce this. You'll see that the design is the same here. This is a 46 base attack weapon, which means that you'll get 608 attack at level 90. It comes with energy recharge, a very high amount of it, 55.1% and 90. And a really long weapon effect description. Okay, so basically, the weapon effect gives you Elementary Master 60 of it, without any specific conditions. It's there forever. Now there's some other stuff with the condition here, where when your elemental skills or elemental burst hits your opponents, the character gains a Sigil of Remembrance. Effect can be triggered once every 0.2 seconds, so that means that it can be triggered really fast. And even if the said character is not on the field, you are still able to trigger and gain sigils, and the moment you gain 4 sigils of remembrance, all of them will be consumed immediately, and all nearby party members will obtain Millennium Movement Farewell Song. Millennium Movement Farewell Song increases elemental mastery by 100 and increases attack by 20%. Once this is triggered, you will not gain Sigil or Remembrance for 20 seconds, so it's sort of like a 20-second cooldown, right? But if you have read the description so far, you know that this is a bow made for Venti, right? Because of the how the elemental skill and elemental burst works. I can even go a bit one step further and say that it works for Ganyu as well. Her burst is definitely going to be easily triggering this effect and hitting it ASAP, the 4 Sigils of Remembrance. Even Child, you can use this, just that Skyward Heart is still going to be better in terms of overall DPS, right? Hydro related EM reactions, I guess Vaporize can work. But you aren't getting crit rate or crit damage from the weapon, unlike Skyward Heart. Yeah, but this is obviously going to be a very great weapon for Venti sub DPS. For sub DPS, not for main DPS really. But even so, based on all these effects, right, it's hard to say whether or not the Skyward Heart will still be a better weapon, even for sub DPS for Venti, or even the stringless, R5 stringless. This will have to be tested out, but it looks really good on paper right now, especially for Venti, and even for Ganyu really. At least it has a high base attack, 608 compared to stringless, for example. Energy recharge though is a bit overkill for Venti. Venti has energy recharge on his Ascension stat if I'm not wrong. But if you look at the R5 of this 5-star weapon, for wheels, right? Obviously it's a consideration for wheels. Elemental Mastery by default is 120, with the Sigils of Remembrance is 200 EM and 40% attack. And bear in mind that this also applies to Venti, by the way. It's not just to the rest of the party. It applies to Venti as well. So this might actually be BIS for might be the new BIS weapon for Venti. Right. Although I don't really like the energy recharge substat here. But it's going to be very interesting to test this weapon out. At least the R1 version of it, yeah. Okay, so, and the good thing is that it doesn't use Leyline Sprout or the Energy Core from Ruin Guards. I'm really low on both on those. This is seldom used, honestly speaking. Black Crystal Hall, and this as well. This is easy, the Insignias, so that's nice. So yeah, this weapon has the potential to be like the new BIS for Venti. It's going to be very interesting to test this out. Right, so that's the 5-star weapon. If I go back to the snapshot here, you have a sword that is the Ellie Flash, you have another 4-star bow, Ellie Hunter, and you have a wine and son. So let's talk about the bow first. So this is Ellie Hunter. It's the same bow as you can see from the outlook, the look of it. Effect is you get a 2% damage increase every second, up to a max of 20% when your character is not on the field, but in the party. So it means it takes 10 seconds for it to build up. And when the character is on the field for more than 4 seconds, your damage bar drops by double until it reaches 0. So at first glance, the description of this sounds like it's totally made for Fisher, right? It's made for Fisher, right? Or for Child, if you do burst, but obviously there are other better weapons. But this is quite interesting for Fisher, because it means that the way Fisher's skills work, right, as a sub DPS, it fits perfectly into this. You might say that Streamless is better, right, because Streamless is 24% damage without any build up. But bear in mind that Streamless has a low base attack, it's only 42, and at level 90 is 510. You get Elemental Mastery, sure, but Elemental Mastery isn't that great for electro reactions, really. It's really not that great for electro reactions, honestly speaking. So if I compare the R1 versus R1 and R5 of Streamless versus R1 and R5 of Ellie Hunter, it's basically 20% versus 24% and 40% versus 48%. That difference of 4 to 8% might be covered by this because there's a higher base attack and there's attack percent on the substat as well. Not a high one, but granted, but it does still help. So this is quite interesting, this weapon. It has the potential to maybe even outdo Stringless as the BIS sub weapon. BIS weapon for sub DPS Fisher. So very interesting option. If I do get the weapon, I would love to test this out if I have enough weapon ores as well. The only thing is when you use your elemental burst, I think you will end up lasting more than 4 seconds and you might get a bit of damage drop. The elemental burst on Fisher, right? Other than that, it does have the potential to be better than Stringless, especially if you don't have a Stringless versus if you have higher refinements of this bow. Obviously this bow will do better. Right now I'm just comparing sim refinement levels. But don't forget that some of Fisher's effect is really very related to her attack. For example, her C6 is very related to her attack. The higher attack value you have, the better the C6 effect is. So this will help in that aspect. The main thing is that I don't like the EM on Stringless for Fisher. I always feel that it's a waste. Yeah. So this has the potential to be better. This new weapon, Ellie Hunter. Now let's go look at the next one, which is Ellie Flash. That's the new sword. This new sword is a bit special. This is the highest attack we ever seen on a 4-star weapon. The highest attack usually is 44. And the skilling is very consistent. The 44 will always skill to have lesser attack than the next value, which is 5-star weapons at 46. This is the first time we are having one with 45. The weird thing though to me is that the base attack is very very high. At level 90 is 660, which means that it's even higher than Staff of Homa, for example, a weapon with a base attack of 46. It's in fact only slightly lower than a base attack 48 weapon, which is the highest value on a 5-star weapon. 5-star weapon, the highest value you can get is 674 at level 90. So this is really feels very weird to me, this skilling. So far, all the weapons, the skilling is pretty consistent. If your base attack is if your base attack is lower than the base attack of another weapon, at level 19 your attack will also be lower than the other weapon. But this completely defies that. At base attack 45, you get 660, which is more than base attack 46 for a 5-star weapon. So yeah, this is kind of weird. I'm not sure whether eventually this will be changed, because bear in mind that all these stats are still in beta. We have not gotten 1.5, 1.4 yet. It's not live yet. It is possible for this to happen, I guess, because the EM substat here is really low. At level 90, you get 55 EM. It's like you can't really feel the difference with 55 EM, man. To put it into perspective, right? 60 EM on a vaporized reaction is about 10% damage boost. Okay. So for this, right? I'm not sure whether this base attack will stick really, but if it does stick, if it does stay at this value when it goes live, this is actually going to be very good for Bennett, because Bennett's ultimate works based on his base attack, right? Which basically comes from the weapon as well as his character's base attack itself. So this will become the best, almost like the BIS for him if you already have enough energy recharge, because the Skyward Blade does give you energy recharge as well. So it's very interesting to see if the stats for this is gonna be the same when it releases in 1.4. If it does, it's gonna be very easy to get this weapon compared to Skyward Blade, right? For Bennett, this means that this is gonna be great for Bennett for his buff. Now, the effect of this is also very nice. It's actually an increase of all damage by 12% at R1, 24% at R5. There's a caveat here where once you take damage, it will disable the effect for 5 seconds. But that's where all the shields come in, right? That's where Zhongli comes in, right? This makes Zhongli even better, man. This weapon, this sword, makes Zhongli even better. So on characters like Xingqiu, I suppose, although I feel that the sacrificial is still better, the sacrificial effect, but this can still work very well, because this will work with his Xingqiu's Q as well, right? So characters like, I mean, even for DPS, it's not a bad weapon, although there's no crit rate, but increasing all damage by this amount is really nice. Along with the high base attack, it's gonna be really good on even on DPS characters, say Keqing, Jin. I wonder if all damage includes 4 damage as well, because the way 4 damage works in the game right now is a percentage of your health. If it does work, then it would be crazy, man. The only caveat is that you need to use shields with this. Just make sure you don't take damage, which is not difficult at all with a Zhongli shield. Even with a Diona shield, it's okay, as long as you take care when the shield is going to expire. So yeah, this sword looks to be very good, very high potential, if the base attack remains as it is like this. Because all damage buff is just very strong. So it'll be interesting to see how this weapon will work and what's the attack value will be at release, at the 1.4 release, yeah? Alright, let's go on to the last weapon, which is Wai and Son. So this is a catalyst, 44 base attack. If I don't include Ally Flash, it's the highest base attack so far amongst all the 4-star weapons. There's energy recharge on it as well, 30.6%. And its effect is when you hit an opponent with a normal attack, you decrease your stamina consumption. When you use your stamina consumption of sprint or alternate sprint, when you use your sprint or alternate sprint, you get an increase of attack by 20%. So it sounds like a good weapon for Mona, right? At least you make good use of the alternate sprint, stamina consumption reduction. Not groundbreakingly fantastic, but it's useful. Attack by 20% is nice, but looking at this, right, I kind of feel like it still may not be as good as Wisif for Mona. Maybe for Mona main DPS, but if you're doing Mona main DPS, I guess it's not bad. You can't outdo 5-star weapons, but to be fair, this is a 4-star weapon. So yeah, and definitely has potential for Mona for this weapon. Attack by 40% at R5. Energy recharge also helps give hydro damage to Mona, so that's nice. With a highest base attack of 4-star weapons. There's potential on this 4-star weapon, man. For Mona, as far as I can tell so far. For rest of characters, maybe Barbara. Alright, so anyway, that is one and so on. I can't tell right now whether or not it will be really great for Mona. Remains to be seen. But given the high base attack, it does have very high potential. So that is it for this video in terms of the 4 new weapons that we'll be getting in the 1.4. There's actually one more weapon that you will get, a 4-star weapon that you can get from the event itself. It's a new weapon too, but I don't see the stats in Honey Impact yet. I don't see the bow in Honey Impact yet, so I won't be able to share any more details on that. So I hope this video has been helpful to you guys in terms of looking at the detailed stats of the weapons. 1.4 weapons, these weapons here that have already more or less been confirmed that we'll be getting them in 1.4. Elegy for the End looks to be very broken for Venti as a sub DPS. If you think about it, right, this 200 EM is like giving Venti a Sucrose, right? A fully built Sucrose. You're putting a Sucrose in together with the Venti. You can think of it that way. That's amazing, by the way. 1 character slot giving you 2 character slots worth. So yeah, but obviously it's not going to be easy to get R5 of this bow, right? We all know what a nightmare the weapon banner is. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to seeing the Super Wheels trying this weapon out on Venti. It'll be very, very interesting. I'll definitely roll for Venti because I don't have Venti right now. I miss him in his banner. I started the game after his banner. Yeah, so this bow is the one that I'll say I'm most interested in amongst the 4 weapons. Alright, thanks everyone for watching. I hope this little preview has been helpful to you guys. If you like the content, remember to like the video and click subscribe for more, yeah? Alright, bye!